Hey, how are you? Coming at you with nutrition tip number 5. As promised, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, excuse me, going out or eating out, and trying to make sure you stay in control when you go and you dine out. So, whenever I go to a restaurant, I usually look up the menu online first. And the reason why is so that way when I get there, I pretty much, have selected like one or two things that are going to keep me on track or going to, help me with whatever like nutrition plan I might be following, or basically, just kind of keep me on track. So yeah, I make the decision beforehand. I look up a couple of things, and I think to myself, like, if I get there and all of a sudden I want something different, then that might be okay. But like, what might that alternative be? So I really try to keep that in check when I go out. Sorry, there's a hair bothering me. When I go out, so that way when you get there and like maybe you're really hungry and like the waiter's walking by with all these delicious looking like meals like fish and chips or something like that, and then you were deciding to have like the, I don't know, baked whatever, sockeye or cod or something, and all of a sudden this fish and chips goes by and you're like, oh yeah, I want that. So trying to decide, just before you get there is just kind of keeps you in control. So and the other thing too is I always try to order first so that I don't get sidetracked by other people's decisions and like, oh, they're having, this loaded poutine and I am having my baked fish, but that loaded poutine sounds really amazing. But I try to order first so that I just stick with, what I went there to have. Also, even if I'm like thinking about getting a salad at a restaurant, like enjoy that salad. I know you can make a salad at home, but a lot of the times you want to just make sure you're able to enjoy that food. Somebody else prepared it for you. It's not necessarily about the salad. It's about like dining out with friends, or it's about being in that moment and that memory. Just remember that, it's okay to have a salad when you're out and make it a really nice salad and enjoy the moment and spend the money on that. When sometimes I think to myself, oh gosh, $20 for a salad, but I'm like, but it's going to make me feel good. It's not going to leave me, bloated and upset stomach like that plate of fish and chips probably would. Sometimes I'll have fries, but I won't necessarily have the fish and chips. Another thing I do sometimes too is if I know like we're going somewhere where there's not going to be a lot of veggie options, because I really do like my veggies, I'll eat like a salad, like a kale salad, or I'll roast some veggies or something, and I'll eat them beforehand. I'll even sometimes have a shake, so I make sure that I can put some extra veggies into that, and some protein so that I can fill up actually a little bit more. I often do that because I know sometimes when we're going out, it's not always like my first choice of a restaurant or whatever, so I'll have a nibble at the restaurant or something smaller and still have a little bit of food at home, so that, again, I'm not going starving and making poor choices. Another thing I do is I ask for the sauce on the side a lot of the times, because you'd be surprised how much sauce comes on things, and this way you have the control over how much sauce you put on stuff. So your salad, sometimes I'll just take a little dip and I'll dip each bite in the salad dressing, and it's like just a way easier way to have control of what your dressings are. You could always water it down a little bit too, like just a tiny bit to make it go a little bit further, to make it feel like you're not eating so much extra calories, right? And then don't be afraid to like ask the waiter for substitutions. I always do that. I always say, I always try to load more veggies on. I always like try to double up the veggies. Even if you have to pay $1 or $2 more, a couple bucks more, it's usually worth it to get the extra veggies or the fruit, or even like a side of avocado if you need some healthy fats that day. Like, don't be afraid to make those substitutions, because they're smart and you're investing in your health, and it's going to make you feel much better than, again, that loaded plate of poutine probably would, even though poutine is so delicious. And then, if you want to have dessert, like, you can totally split it with your partner or a friend or whoever, so that you're not eating the whole dessert. If like that's something that you really, really want, then do that, or have, a couple of bites and just say you're done. Or if you really want, that glass of wine, or you want another glass of wine, then maybe you skip dessert and have that glass of wine. Like, you can decide what feels best for you, what, how many extra calories you want to be having, or maybe you had a nice salad at dinner, you skipped the bread, the basket that came, so that you could have a bit of dessert, or you could have like another glass of wine without feeling guilty. So those are just like little tips and tricks that I try to keep in my head when I go to dine out. Another thing is, if you're going to like a friend's house or a house party, hopefully we're going to be able to do that again soon. Always bringing something that you can snack on that's like a healthier choice, because again, lots of times those house parties just have like chips and stuff that's really, really yummy, but also might not be helping you get towards your health goals. You could bring a veggie tray, you could bring a fruit tray, you could bring, guacamole and veggies, and maybe like a side of cracker, like some crackers or chips or something that go with like the guacamole, let's say, or guacamole and salsa, and still bring, some sliced up whatever veggies that you could dip in these things like peppers, cucumbers, all that kind of stuff. So there's always ways to bring more veggies, to have a healthier choice when you're not in your own space. So try to remember that as you dine out with friends, or as you go to their houses and we're allowed to go into people's homes again. But just plan ahead for going out. Be prepared. You can always look up, like, Google healthy snacks, or Pinterest like healthy snacks, or healthy party snacks or whatever, and you'll find a plethora of information on the web. So you really want to, I used to always go and feel really, really bloated after like meals out or dinners with friends, and it's because you might be eating things that you're not totally used to all the time. So just really try to keep in mind like what your choices are that make you feel good. And again, this compound effect of having more water, adding more veggies, less sugar, being conscious of what you're eating, it's all going to compound over time, and you're going to see that the next time you eat out, you're going to be making more conscious choices for what makes your body feel really, really good. There you have it. That's my nutrition tip number 5.